Assalamu alaikum everyone. Yesterday we did a reading class that I forgot to record, so I'm just recording it here, exactly what we did yesterday. It was going through these different paragraphs, similar to the previous video that I posted, and adding the harakat where they should exist. So let's get started. Kana, right here, Kana al-asadu al-kabiru. So al-kabiru is basically the adjective of the lion, right? The big lion. So al-asadu al-kabiru. They both have the definite article al, and they both end with the same dhamma, right? So what was the big lion? Well, the big lion was dhakiyan wa adilan. Dhakiyan wa adilan. These are essentially adverbs, right? How was he? Well, he was smart, dhakiyan, right? And when we have adverbs, we add an alif at the end of them with a tanween al-fatha. Okay? And so here we added an alif on both. So dhakiyan means smart, and wa'adilan is just. Okay? And the original words are dhaki, wa'adil. But when they are acting as adverbs, we add the alif and the tanween al-fatha. Alright? So كان الأسد الكبير ذكيا وعادلا. And there's actually a shadda here. Right? ذكيا وعادلا. تحبه الحيوانات في الغابة. تحبه. This is for the possessive pronoun, so they love him, right? Or they like him, and it's saying that the animals like him. This refers back to the lion. So who do these animals like? Well, they like him being the lion, right? And so this is an additional letter that's like a possessive pronoun. And then al-haywanatu gets dhamma at the end because it's the subject of the statement here, right? تحبه الحيوانات. Who is doing the liking? Well, the liking is being done by the animals, and so the animals is the subject. في الغابة. So في is the preposition, and غابة is going to get a kasra here, right? Which is the forest. So تحبه الحيوانات في الغابة. So the animals in the forest like him. Okay, you can think of this as one phrase, which is الحيوانات في الغابة. The animals in the forest like him. تحبه. Okay. Next. وكان الأسد. We can tell here there isn't an adjective coming after al-asad. Right? There isn't al-asadu al-kabiru, for example, similar to the above sentence. But it's just وكان الأسد. So, and the lion was, or used to, وكان يحب. كان يحب, and he used to like جميع الحيوانات. Okay? So if we take this out, who does he like? He used to like all. But since it has a possessive word right after it, or a mudaf ilayhi, then this is going to be with a kasra, and this is not going to have tanween al-fatha, it's going to have just a fatha. Okay? يحب جميع الحيوانات. If we remove this again, it will have to be like this. ويحب جميعا. He likes everyone. But in this context, it doesn't make sense, right? وكان يحب جميعا. جميعا. It could make sense. You could actually write it like this, but it's not very proper Arabic. You would say يحبهم, right? This is for the possessive pronoun, and he used to like them all. جميعا. Right? This is how it would sound better in Arabic. But since we're being a little more definitive in who all are, then who is he talking about? Well, وكان الأسد يحب جميع الحيوانات. Okay? جميع being the object, and الحيوانات being the possessive word over the word جميع. So وكان الأسد يحب جميع الحيوانات, and the lion used to like all of the animals. All of the animals. ويحميها. يحميها. And he defended it, and he defended them, right? يحميها, defended them. من الأخطار. This is a preposition from. It means from. الأخطار. Okay? So anything after a preposition gets a kasra at the end of it. And akhtari means dangers. It's the plural of danger. And khatar al-akhtar is the singular of danger, okay? And the plural is al-akhtar or akhtar without the definite article al. ويحميها من الأخطار. وكان الأسد يحب جميع الحيوانات, and the lion used to like all the animals and defend them from dangers. ويحميها من الأخطار. وفي إحدى السنوات إحدى we said that it means one of, and therefore what comes after it and what's coming after it right now is with the definite article al, and it's a noun, therefore it's a possessive noun over إحدى, one of what? Well, one of the years. السنوات means years. سنة is 1 year. It's a singular of years. Yeah. So when we answer the question, one of what? Well, one of the years. So السنوات, so it's a possessive word. وفي إحدى السنوات كان فصل means season, وكان فصل الخريف. So I'm not, if I didn't put إضافة after it would be فصل, because it doesn't have definite article al. If it had the definite article al, it would be الفصل. But since there's إضافة after it, it would be فصل. وكان فصل الخريف. الخريف is autumn. كان فصل الخريف, the season of autumn, right? What season? Autumn. Right? And so that's why we put this kasra here, because this is a possessive word. What does the season belong to? It belongs to autumn. Okay? It was قاسيا, it was harsh. And so this is the adverb. قاسيا. Okay? So قاسيا, just like we put ذكيا and وعادلا here, which were the adverbs to the verb to be here. It's the same for here. كان فصل الخريف, the season of autumn was قاسيا, was harsh. And so this is the adverb. How was it? Well, it was a harsh season. فكانت, fa means so, and once you add it to a verb, it's like so. كانت الرياح, so the winds were. كانت الرياح. So الرياح are the winds, plural, right? ريح is wind, one wind, singular. الرياح is the plural of wind, which is winds. So فكانت الرياح شديدة. Sorry. فكانت الرياح شديدة, right? Well, how were these winds? Well, the adverb here is شديدة. With a ta مربوطة, we don't add an alif with the tanween al-fatha like we saw here in قاسيا, ذكيا, and عادلا. No, we just put tanween al-fatha and that's it. شديدة. It was intense. So these winds were intense. شديدة means intense. فكانت الرياح شديدة. Right? And so, or so. فاقتلعت معظم, right? Why is فاقتلعت means and it uprooted in an intense way, right? And it uprooted. معظم is the object, right? Most of, because right after it is an إضافة. Most of what? Well, most of the trees, and the trees is the possessive word here. الأشجار. And this is the object. This is the original object to the verb to uproot, right? فاقتلعت, to uproot. And so it uprooted most of, so it gets the fatha rather than the tanween al-fatha because there's a possessive word after it. معظم الأشجار. So most of the trees. Most of what? Most of the trees. Okay. وحين, and this means حين alone is basically at the time, right? Or the time, depending on how you use it in different contexts. And you'll see it in different places, but in this context, وحين, and it's like at the time of. حين جاء, so and when فصل الشتاء came, right? جاء means to come, and فصل, like we said, is season. الشتاء الشتائي, right? Because it's a possessive word over season. So the season of what? The season of the winter, and therefore it's a possessive word and it gets a kasra. وحين جاء فصل الشتاء, and at the time that the season of winter arrived or came, لم, which is a nullifying word, or it's حرف جزم. That's what we call it, حرف جزم. Kind of like how prepositions are called حرف الجر. لم is حرف جزم, and لم ينزل المطر. So lam means it's nullifying that the rain did not come down. It did not descend. ينزل is to come down or to descend. المطر is rain, and lam ينزل means it did not come down. Okay, if we said la, people will probably have this question. لا ينزل المطر. It's basically just saying that that rain does not come down, but that's indefinite, right? It's like, does rain never come down? No, rain does come down, but sometimes there's a shift in climate, right? There's a shift in weather, and so it might not come down. And so you use lam ينزل, which is better for dealing with time. لم ينزل المطر is explaining that it did not come, the rain did not come down at this specific time, right? It did not come down in the season of winter. Okay. فتضايقت الحيوانات من ذلك. Okay. And in ذلك there's an invisible alif. ذلك. We don't say ذلك. We say ذلك. And what it means is that. It means that. So when we say فتضايقت الحيوانات من ذلك, it means and the animals were annoyed by that or from that. Okay? تضايقت. Next is ولما. ولما is the same as saying وحين, right? Which we saw here. And at the time of or when. لما is similar. Well, it just depends what you want to use. ولما جاء, and when فصل الربيع, the season of spring came or arrived, and when the season of spring came, so فصل الربيع, right? We're going to add the kasra here because it is the possessive word over season. Okay. وجاء فصل الربيع, ولما جاء فصل الربيع, and when the season of spring came, سعدت الحيوانات بالأعشاب. So حيوانات is the subject, therefore it gets the dhamma, and it has the definite article al, so it gets the dhamma rather than the tanween al-dhamma. سعدت الحيوانات bil, and we remember that this from last video, بالأعشاب, b is acts as a harf al-jar or a preposition, which means with, right? It can mean different ways based on how you translate it, but the standard is with. And it means bil ashabi, which means they were happy with the greenery that came out due to the season of spring. Okay. And since ba acts as a harf al-jar, which is a preposition, then the word that it connects to gets a kasra. Okay. ولما جاء فصل الربيع سعدت الحيوانات بالأعشاب. مع, which means also with. مع أنها كانت قليلة. Okay. مع أنها means although it was, or although they were. Okay. مع أنها, although it was. مع أنها, remember when you say مع أنها, it means although it was. And أنها is basically أن هي كانت, right? It's a conjugation of the both, or it's a conjoinment of the both. It's a conjoinment of the both. أنها means أن هي. So أن هي كانت قليلة. مع أن هي كانت قليلة. But together, مع أن, with that, it was little. Or although it was little, right? So what if you want to translate it strictly to مع أن هي, if you want to transliterate it, it would be with that, it is little, right? It is little. And in the context of the sentence, what we're saying here is that when the season of spring came, the animals were happy with the greenery. With that, it was little. With that, it was little. Meaning that although it was little, they were happy with the greenery that came out. Okay? But here we say أنها. Okay? And أن is a way to conjoin a statement with the rest of the sentence. Kind of like أحب أن أكون مهندسا. I'd like to be an engineer. أحب أن أكون. Sometimes it's good, it works with verbs that need another verb after it. And so you'd say the verb, and then you'd say anna, and then you'd say the second verb. Kind of like I'd like to be, right? Like, the like is one verb, and to be is the other verb, the second verb. مع أنها كانت قليلة, although it was little, and قليلة gets تنوين الفتحة at the end because it's the object and it doesn't have a definite article al. It's the object of the verb كانت, which is to be. I hope this was helpful. This is what we went over in the reading class, which was the first one, and very happy that it went through and people came. So looking forward to the next classes. If you have any questions, please drop them in the comments and we'll get to them. All the best. See you later.